hello everyone, welcome to your channel Student Support. I am Akanksha. So today we have a very special guest. She has a dynamic persona. She's also the awardee of Influential Women 2020. So I, Akanksha Pandey, on behalf of entire Student Support team, extend your warm welcome to Miss Inakshi Johri. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here.
Same here, ma'am. So, Inakshi ma'am, as you are an author, traveler, reviewer, and obviously an educator, and it's our honor today to have you on board, and it will be very great talking to you for the rest of the interview. So, I hope you have a great time with us. So, shall we begin with the interview?
I'm sure. Yes.
So, my first question to you, ma'am, is what's the meaning of your name? So it's quite unique, like Inakshi.
My name basically means dear-eyed. Yes, I think you would have heard a lot of Meenakshis, but obviously my name definitely means dear-eyed, which is equivalent to being an apple of the eye.
Oh, right. So great, ma'am. So, Inakshi ma'am, you are a travel enthusiast. So, which are the places you have traveled so far, and some experiences which are close to your heart, and some inspiration that was taken from that places?
Okay, to be honest, I began traveling when I was in college, and we had a military training camp that was a part of compulsory education. So that's when we went out and we stayed for some days in that camp. It actually turned out to be a beautiful experience. And since then, whatever time slot permits and however I can manage, I try to travel to different places. I've covered most of South India for sure because I have been in Bangalore for 5 years now. But other than that, some places in North India like Sikkim, and then obviously somewhere in Uttaranchal, all those places I have covered. And it's always nice to go without any proper plan. So I personally feel that traveling is, Sorry, didn't get you.
Ma'am, how these places inspired you? How this traveling experience inspired you?
In a way, I will say that the traveling has brought me very close to nature, because when you visit any place, you suddenly realize how small you are in front of nature, and that's when you start respecting the things around you. So one of the things that I've learned through traveling is developing respect for the things and people around me. And of course, then the fact that I have come closer to nature and started observing things that otherwise just skipped my eye, that is something that is helping me grow as a person on a daily basis.
Ma'am, that was so good, ma'am. Obviously, we all love nature, and travel obviously helps us in exploring more about nature. So,
Yes.
Inakshi ma'am, as you know that today's generation is more into visual entertainment. They prefer movies or series over the books. Although they know that, the knowledge, theoretical knowledge that a book can give, we can't experience it through a visual form. Like in the field of education, students prefer especially YouTube over the books. Although
Correct.
we know that a 2 minutes or 3 minutes video cannot give the entire knowledge about the topic. Obviously, books are much more preferred, but students find visual things more entertaining, or I think they find it more helpful for them today. So, what's your take on that? How do you? What's your take on that?
I don't deny whatever you just said, because since I teach middle and high school students, it is quite obvious when they come up with this concept of showing them a video rather than speaking in the class and explaining anything, because they associate better, and that's absolutely fine. Even when I was in school, I never preferred books. I never read so much like how I started reading now, because obviously if you gave me a choice of watching a movie than reading a book, I would go for a movie. It's shorter and it's more appealing. But with time, I think that interest develops with time. There are two ways. Either you start reading right from the very young age, because then it becomes a habit. And if you still don't have that habit, it comes with experience and it comes with the liking. So if you develop a liking towards reading something light, then that's when you start. I started with Chetan Bhagat books. Now I don't like his books because now I've realized and have exposed myself to different genres. But that's how I began reading. So it all started in college. So it's nothing like I started reading from a very young age. It's not the case. But reading is definitely important because it opens you to a lot of new possibilities, and movies have a restrained time limit. So you obviously cannot rely on videos and movies to show everything.
But I personally believe that books are our best friends because, ma'am, obviously it is a right quote that they never complain to us. And I think in books we can get the clear concepts about the things. Ma'am, like we see the movies, they shuffle the concept, or they tell the concept in their own way. Whereas book, we can experience the truth.
Correct.
So, ma'am, that's what happened with the Chetan
Yes, absolutely.
movie. I think people are more interested in two states watching a movie, Alia Bhatt and Arjun Kapoor, rather than reading that novel.
Rather than reading the book.
Yeah.
And that is the only book I think that I have read the book as well as watched the movie, other than the Harry Potter series. And I honestly, I did not like his writing. I like the movie better for Chetan Bhagat's case. His books are actually suited for movies. They are not for devouring and then trying to get something out of the book. His books basically are those rom-com stories which are very general.
Yeah. So, ma'am, also a lot of budding writers or the professional writers we see often face the problem of writer's block or the procrastination. So, what's your suggestion to them? And these are the problems that are very common for a writer or for a budding writer, especially.
Correct.
So, ma'am, what's your suggestion?
See, I also had this. Yeah, what I did to overcome the writer's block and to basically, since I'm in a full-time job and it is very difficult to find time to write, what I did was I started writing a column for a magazine. So that's the way I have become time-bound, and every week I have to submit something. It's not that they are forcing me, or it's not that there is a contract kind of thing, but then that is the kind of boundary that I have set for myself, that every week at least I have to write one article. And with that, I have gotten into the habit that, and since you know that I review books, almost weekly basis, I write 2 or 3 reviews as well. So some form of writing is important. So if procrastination is something that the writers are suffering from, or if they are not willing to write or make a blog for that matter, they can start small. It's never, see, whenever you start a blog, you have the freedom to decide the word count of your pieces, to decide the content. Like there are so many writers on Instagram that there are engagement groups that I'm part of. There are so many writers who write lovely poems on Instagram. So I generally, when I speak to them, I suggest them that instead of posting pictures of the poems, they can start writing a blog on the same thing. So everybody knows how to write. It's just that they have to find the medium that they find more interesting, and then basically get down to working the grind and then doing it on a daily basis.
Do you need any
After some time
environment around you to write, like, you know, lights off and writing?
Yes.
Something like that?
See, I need music. That's one, because I multitask. So I need music. I need nobody around me, because if people are constantly there, even if it's one person around me, I cannot write. And I obviously need my laptop, because I don't write using the pen and paper. I follow the laptop method better. I'm a very quick typist, so I type better. So these 3 things, if they are there, yes.
Any specific time in the day, like somebody prefer to write at night, somebody in the morning?
That used to happen in college because I was comparatively free. Now it's more related to the job. Whenever I have time, I have to write. Now that freedom has gone, I can't stay up till late because early morning I have classes. So it's now time bound. So mostly it's in the afternoons, after lunch and everything is done, that I sit down to write.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, as you are a book reviewer, so what's your reviewing criteria? Or like we have lots of budding writers and the reviewers in contact. They are very keen to know what's your reviewing criteria for reviewing the book.
Okay, the first thing, I think all of us will agree on one common point, that the very first thing that comes to the mind is the cover. The cover has to be beautiful, and obviously it should link with the title. So after looking at the cover, then next thing is the first page or the prologue or the preface that the author writes. That's what I look for. And obviously, I turn around the book and look at the blurb as well. Now, the turn-off point for me is bad grammar. Since I teach English, I'm very a stickler for rules. And if there is a grammatical problem in the blurb or in the preface, that's an immediate turn-off for me. But if the storyline is interesting, if it is something that I am sure that with the passage of time it is going to become more interesting, that's where the book gains points. So first thing being cover, second thing being the grammatical aspect, then I move on to the font and the indentation of the text. Now I think you would have also read a lot of books where the text is so congested,' placed in the book that you don't feel like reading, and that entire
It becomes
joy
quite
goes away.
boring when we read some congested.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Ma'am,
especially if the thickness of the book is more, and if you have the congested text, it spoils the entire fun. So other than these three aspects, I basically look for a good storyline, character development, and obviously if there are some drawbacks, I just try to mentally analyze if those drawbacks can be balanced with the good points.
Ma'am, what's your favorite genre? What kind of books you love? You like to read?
Contemporary romance. I like reading contemporary romance.
So, ma'am, as we know that reading is a vital practice which we all must adhere. So, you can suggest some motivational books for the writers who are and convince them to read books. Like, and there are people who actually love reading but they can't read because they find it a little bit boring. That's why they get influenced through visual things. So, ma'am, what are the motivational books that can compel them or that can convince them that reading is a really good practice as it results in overall development of a human being?
Okay, see, honestly, Akansha, I have tried suggesting some motivational book to my students, but they have not helped them in any way because at one point, non-fiction books definitely become boring. Yeah. So what I did was, since I review for Rupa and Penguin, so I get books from Penguin, and obviously I think you'll agree that Rupa and Penguin offer very substantial content. So there are two books that I got. I think last year I got them, and those two books had a very easy narrative. I gave it to two of my students and they loved it. And then they started asking me for more. So overall gist, what I'm trying to say here is that it is not, I think that's a stereotypical belief that only non-fiction books can help you or motivate you to read. If you can come across a story that is very simple to read and simple to understand, that book can be a starter or the catalyst to ignite that passion of reading for you. So it has worked in my case as well.
Yeah. Ma'am, ma'am, what's your take that a motivational video can inspire a student or motivational book can inspire a student? What's your take?
I think it is dependent on the age gap. Yeah. If the student is definitely in middle school, they will be more inspired by the videos because they're not going to go into the depth of the book and interpret what we are trying to say. Yeah. And obviously video is short and they are very, their attention span is very short and so they quickly divert. Yeah. For senior students or for the young writers that you were talking about, I think they have reached that kind of age group where they can devote some time to read about a concept or something. Like Ikigai is a very nice book that they all can try, the young writers. They can try reading about Ikigai because in a way it indirectly tells you about how to chase your passion. Yeah. And it's again, the language is simple, the layout of the book is proper, so it's a quick read.
So, ma'am, what are you currently reading and how do you find it? A book that
I'm reading Salman Rushdie's Golden House, and I started reading this because one of my friends recommended, and it's okay. It's not that great. Maybe the kind of genre that he writes is not my cup of tea. It gets a little boring in between, so I'm just struggling to finish it at this point, and I'm pretty sure that I'll finish it this week.
Ma'am, you are an educator.
So and then obviously I have a lot of. Sorry, missed you.
Say again. You can complete that. I can move on to the next question.
I was saying that just after this Rushdie's book, I have a lot of books for review that are lined up. So it's a chock-a-block this thing, but I'm still focusing on finishing Golden House because it has been pending for a long time.
So, ma'am, as we know that COVID has obviously affected a lot of us and a lot of professions, especially be it a student, like I'm a student, so I'm very affected by it, like the situation. Our education is hampered due to that. So, ma'am, you are an educator, so how does the pandemic affected you as an educator?
It has obviously caused a gap between the students and the teachers. As a teacher, I can tell you that I'm definitely it is now I have become comfortable because it has been more than 6 months sitting in the home and then connecting through the laptop, having Zoom calls or Gmeet calls. But then at the same time, when we just finished exams in our school and correcting the papers, there was a lag and there was an element in me, and I could figure out that the students are not able to understand the way they could have understood if we were in the physical setup. Yeah. So it is creating a gap, but then I think since we are humans and we know how to evolve, we'll eventually pass through this as well.
So ma'am, in the lockdown, we all have explored some of our hobbies and talents. So what you have explored? What kind of talent, other than writing, reviewing, traveling, what other talent you have explored during the lockdown period?
Honestly, nothing much, because I had agendas during the lockdown. I had already finished the manuscript of my first novel, so that editing was required and I had to pitch into the publishers. Then my poetry collection came out, so I have been occupied with writing, so apparently there was no time to explore anything else. I have been doing doodling, but I can't even call it a proper form of art, because it's just for the sake of entertainment. I watch movies a lot. Web series, movies, I have binge watched.
Ma'am, what kind of movie, what genre of movies do you like? I think most of the people are interested in knowing that.
Okay. I don't see. Earlier, it was fine. Before lockdown, I would watch a particular genre of movies, but now it has more often. I generally switch to the movies that are offbeat, like the ones that have been rated low and the ones that have a different concept. Because somehow, these kind of movies give you ideas for writing. So I can write articles on them, and you get to know a different perspective. You get to know about what the directors are thinking. Because if you look at Bollywood, hardly there are any movies that are based on a different concept. But Hollywood definitely has a lot of such movies which can be watched, and there's something to take away from those movies.
Actually,
so I have filtered my list.
Storyline, a girl and a boy
Exactly.
and a villain, and so
yes.
Typical storyline.
But recently it has been coming up with quite a few good movies. Like, if you would have heard about Chaman Bahar is there, then there is Chippa, then there is House Arrest. I found all of these on Netflix just because I was surfing randomly, and these are good movies.
Yeah.
I like them.
So ma'am, what influenced you to be a writer, a traveler and a reviewer? What influence?
There are three different things that influenced me. For writer, it was my English teacher, because she taught English so well that I wanted to just whatever she's okay. If you remember, if you said you were in college, so in school we used to be taught English, wherein our teachers used to ask us to write a lot in the textbook. Like, we would create another textbook of our own.
Yeah.
So that is how my English teacher used to teach me, and that is how I developed that habit of writing each and every word that she said. And when I would read it for the exams, it's just the entire setup came across as so beautiful. That's how I got inspired to just write down whatever comes to my mind. As far as traveling is concerned, since childhood, I was a person who would rather be outdoors exploring than be in a party or talking with people and making friends. I mean, I'm an antisocial person. I don't like talking to new people. So it's better, for me, the better option is always to just get lost. Authors approached me to review his book, and that's how I started. And I started liking this entire process of reviewing. In fact, are you there? Can you hear me, Akansha? Your video is frozen.
Yeah, sorry ma'am. There was some network.
Yeah, it's working now. Yeah. I started reviewing in college last year. I think I was doing the dissertation. So that's when I started reviewing, and I had a plan in my mind that first I would review a lot of books, try to understand what goes wrong in the book, and then eventually come up with my book. So that's why 2020 is the year that I'm going to come up with my second one. First one is already out. Second one might be out soon, if all goes well.
And what's your favorite place? Like, you have traveled a lot of places. Which one is your favorite?
Out of the places that I've been to, Sikkim is my favorite, because it's some of the areas are quite unexplored. That's why.
So ma'am, book reviewing, as we know that book reviewing is a very demanding job, and you need to read every aspect of that, every different criteria there are. So you are involved in so many things. So how do you maintain a balance between being an educator, being a reader, being a writer, and being a reviewer? Like, these are 4 different things, and you have to maintain a balance to be so good like you.
See, as of now, lockdown has been actually showering blessings on me, because traveling has stopped completely. So there is no traveling happening. There are no write-ups about traveling happening. As far as writing is concerned, now I try to finish my schoolwork and all the work related to my job by afternoons, and the night time is devoted to writing. So that's how I manage. In between, yes, juggling between the household chores, that keeps on happening. But then, like I said before, since I have got into the habit of writing daily, I need to find out that 1 hour wherein I can write something and then publish it on my website. So I don't let one job interfere in the other.
That is a very good thing, ma'am. I think that is the problem that we all students nowadays are experiencing. Like, we are involved in so many things that sometimes we get confused and we can't do a single thing at a time. Because lockdown has put a lot of pressure, I think, both on teachers and students both. We both are experiencing a lot of trouble, and we are just hoping that this situation ends and we go back to our college and have a one-to-one study. I think that is more helpful for the students and obviously and more easy for the teachers.
Exactly. Now even I can't wait for the lockdown, this thing to end and then everything going back to normal.
So ma'am, now we have before we end the interview, we have a very fun and very quick segment that we call a rapid fire round. So I'll ask you some words and you just have to say the books that come in your mind while listening to that words. Like if we talk about nature, what does come in your mind when you think about nature?
Oh, is this a sample or this a question?
And that is I'll speak.
Is this an example or is this
what
a
comes
question?
In your mind? When I say these words, what comes in your mind?
Okay, got it. Yeah.
So ma'am, when I say nature.
Okay. My own book, The Green Giants.
Pandemic.
Ikigai.
Bestseller.
Ikigai because it's based on chasing a... Okay, bestseller, 1 minute. Margaret Atwood's Handmaid's Tale.
Best reviewed.
Best review would be Across the Line. It's by Penguin.
Booker Prize.
Margaret Atwood's Testament.
Revolutionary writer. Who do you think is a revolutionary writer?
Robin Sharma. I like his 5 a.m. club. It's good.
A classic which is hold close to your heart. That hold close to your heart.
Wuthering Heights. I'm not sure. I'm not really a big fan of classics, but Wuthering Heights has been the best so far.
That was all our rapid fire round. One question that I personally want to ask: do you watch movies like old classic movies, 1930s, 40s, 50s?
Yes.
So, ma'am, which one was your favorite?
Yes, sometimes. I don't know. It has reduced now.
Which one is it?
Golmaal is my all-time favorite. Golmaal, the old Golmaal.
Yeah, ma'am.
That is one.
Ma'am, earlier before you were a writer, any specific genre, as you said, you earlier focused on the genres. Ma'am, any genre that you love about movies, like thriller, romantic, comedy, suspense?
I'm a hardcore romantic fan, so I used to love all those romantic movies. It might sound cheesy, but then I like watching such movies. So, all nonsense movies like Awara Pagal Divana and Govinda films. I am a big fan of such movies and I can watch them however many times you ask me to.
Who is your favorite actor then?
Akshay Kumar. Then it was John Abraham. Now it has, because John is not doing any films right now, so Akshay Kumar and John.
And
keeps on switching between these two.
Old times, old era.
Oh, no one in particular. All of them have been placed on the same pedestal.
In Hollywood?
Hollywood is Tom Cruise all time. Tom Cruise.
Everyone's favorite.
I know.
So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us, for being such a great sport. And again, I say that it was our honor to be, it was my honor especially to be interviewing you today. And I think this was the best experience I have ever had. I hope we could have future collaborations. I think we should have future collaborations.
Definitely.
So how was your experience?
Yeah, you're so kind. Thank you for those kind words. Yeah. Fabulous, fabulous. The kind of questions that you had framed, suddenly it was nice experience thinking about all these things, because generally in interviews you have a set of questions and you know what is going to be asked. But the kind of questions you asked, it actually sent me back down the memory lane, and I had to think of things that generally we tend to forget.